For years, George and Amal Clooney were considered the epitome of modern-day elegance and sophistication. A brilliant human rights lawyer meets the world's most charming actor, and together they build a life that many envied. Red carpets, luxury estates, humanitarian causes, and raising twins in style, it all looked perfect from the outside. But as it turns out, perfection was just an illusion. Sources close to the couple had quietly whispered for months that things were not as smooth as they seemed. Clashing priorities, constant travel, and alleged emotional disconnect started taking a toll on the couple's inner peace. But no one expected that Amal Clooney, the famously private and composed legal powerhouse, would file a full-blown divorce lawsuit, citing irreconcilable differences and emotional negligence. And that's exactly what happened. According to inside legal sources, Amal filed the divorce petition discreetly through her team in a Los Angeles court. But nothing about the contents of that lawsuit was discreet. The filing reportedly accuses George of emotional abandonment, repeated absences, and creating what Amal described as an emotionally toxic environment. The court documents allegedly state that Amal felt unsupported and isolated in her most vulnerable moments, and that George had become a stranger in his own family. These words hit harder than anyone could have imagined. Not only because they came from Amal, but because they painted a drastically different picture of the man millions admired. But here's where it gets even more heartbreaking. Just hours after Amal's legal team submitted the papers, George Clooney collapsed inside his Beverly Hills estate. A house staffer reportedly found George unconscious in his private study shortly after reading the news online. According to emergency response reports, Clooney suffered what appeared to be a stress-induced health crisis, including dangerously high blood pressure, intense heart palpitations, and signs of neurological strain. He was immediately rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles and admitted under high-level monitoring. Hospital staff confirmed that George was conscious but extremely disoriented upon arrival. Sources say he kept repeating the phrase, "I didn't see this coming." Doctors believe the emotional shock, compounded by existing medical concerns George had kept private, triggered the collapse. Though his condition has since stabilized, he remains under close observation in a private wing of the hospital's neurological unit. What's perhaps most disturbing is the absolute silence from both George and Amal's camps since the incident. No official statements, no press briefings, no social media clarifications. For a couple so public, this sudden blackout suggests that the situation is even more serious than what has been revealed. People close to the Clooneys are reportedly in a state of confusion and concern. One source told us, George is devastated, not just by the lawsuit, but by how quickly everything spiraled. He thought they had time to fix things. He had no idea Amal was this unhappy. While George fights for stability in the hospital, Amal continues to operate through legal channels with ruthless precision. Her divorce team has reportedly filed emergency motions to protect assets, enforce visitation parameters for the children, and secure confidentiality agreements. This swift and tactical approach has surprised even Amal's closest friends. "It's like she's emotionally switched off," said one insider. "She's in full lawyer mode. It's not about love anymore. It's about damage control." This emotional distance is adding salt to an already deep wound for George. According to a close family member, he's not just heartbroken, he's humiliated. He's always admired Amal's brilliance, but now it's being used against him in the most brutal way. Let's not forget the innocent ones in the middle of this storm: George and Amal's 6-year-old twins, Ella and Alexander. Family friends say the children have been shielded from most of the drama, but they are beginning to sense the tension. While Amal has retained primary custody for now, George's legal team is expected to contest for joint custody once his health improves. But that fight could get ugly fast, especially if emotional instability is brought into play in court. George had always been a doting father, playful, present, and nurturing. The idea of being legally distanced from his children is reportedly crushing him. The question haunting everyone is, how did this happen so quickly? Was it years of bottled-up resentment? Was it conflicting careers? Or was it simply a case of two extraordinary people growing apart in an extraordinary world? Only time will tell what the final outcome will be. But what's certain is this: George Clooney is facing the fight of his life, not on a movie set, but in a courtroom and a hospital bed. Stay tuned and subscribe. We will continue following this developing story closely and provide real-time updates as more details emerge. For exclusive access to all future videos and in-depth coverage, make sure you subscribe to our channel right now and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the next chapter in this unraveling saga, because Hollywood's most beloved couple may be ending not with a whisper, but with a thunderous and heartbreaking roar.